Welcome back to Logic Basics. We're going to be entering into a unit on concepts. If you recall, concepts are the first act of thinking. When we talked about reason and its use, reason is used to form concepts, judgments, and arguments, the forms of all thought. So if it's thinking, it's either a concept or a judgment or an argument. So we're going to go into each of those areas, beginning with concepts. I have a handout for us to use. It is called What Are Concepts? And it's critical for us to get concepts in place because this is connected to the first act of the mind. If we make a mistake in forming a concept, then we make a mistake in what a thing means. We lose meaning. We could make mistakes in the areas of concept formation, making false judgments, or having an invalid argument or an unsound argument, but it begins with concepts. So I'm going to stress this unit on concepts. Now, if you're following along in the Peter Kreeft book, this is called the first act of the mind in his book, or the first act of understanding. Again, this comes from Aristotle. This is Aristotelian logic. And most of these ideas are from Aristotle. Okay, so let's go into it. A concept is the first act of reason, followed by judgment and arguments. In forming a concept, the mind grasps the essential nature of a thing, or the general meaning of a thing, its essential features, without affirming or denying anything about that. So we're grasping the nature of the thing. The mind is grasping the nature of the thing. Mother, red, dog. Okay. Forming concepts includes grasping the essential features of a thing, or states, or relations, or activities, or properties of a thing, or class of things. So notice, essential features include states. My dog is at a state of rest. Relations. My dog is rather large. Activities. My dog likes to run. Properties of a thing. My dog is blue. He's at Blue Healer. He's actually in the background of many of these videos. If you hear them, there's two of them, but one is noisy. All right, so forming concepts includes grasping the essential features of the thing. Now, let's talk about that. The essential features of a thing are the qualities or set of qualities that all members of that class of things always have, that they only have, and which distinguishes them from all other things. So the essential features of a dog, or dogness, or dog kind, are those qualities that all dogs always possess that differentiates them or distinguishes them from non-dogs. Okay? This might take a while for you to think about and grasp. Forming concepts includes identifying a thing and distinguishing it from all other things by application of the laws of thought. A is A and non-A. Forming concepts begins with the law of identity. It is what it is. So we want to properly identify what a thing is. Okay, now, this is important for us to understand. Concepts are universal. They're universal in two ways. Concepts are grasped by understanding the general meaning of a thing, or the nature of a thing. So, concepts apply to all members of a class of things, for example, mother. And since concepts grasp the general meaning of a thing, concepts are the same for all thinking beings. So, the word mother is a symbol, a sign for the reality, mother. And mother, the reality, has a set of features that all mothers have, that they always have, and that distinguishes them from non-mother. And since concepts grasp the general meaning of a thing, concepts are the same for all thinkers. So the word is different, but the concept is the same. So dog, there may be different words for dog in different languages, but the reality that the word stands for is the same. We're grasping the essential features of that thing that the word stands for. All right. Concepts are communicated by words, terms, or other signs. Words are conventional, like maybe sign language. Sign language grasps the nature of a thing and expresses it with a sign. Words are conventional and are taught. I'm teaching you words right now. Words or terms may be ambiguous. We'll have to talk about what does ambiguous mean. Concepts, because grasping the general meaning of a thing, are not ambiguous. So once you've grasped the concept, you've grasped the meaning of the thing. Now, we could fail to grasp a concept, we could fail to grasp it fully, but that's because we need to apply reason further to understand what it is. Now, words are representing concepts, and words can have many meanings, and so words are ambiguous. Let's see if there's anything else I want to mention here. Words are conventional and are taught. I can teach you words. Like I can say, epistemology is the study of knowledge. But the concept that those words express, I cannot teach you. You have to grasp it. The words are conveying a meaning to you, and you have to grasp that meaning through your mind. So I have an idea in my mind. I use words to express it, and your mind has to grasp it. Okay? So words are like a mediator for ideas. Concepts are ideas. All right, now here are ways in which words can be ambiguous. Words can be ambiguous in these ways, and it could be words are philosophically ambiguous. Let me talk about philosophical ambiguity first. The word human. What a person thinks a human is based on their basic belief. Remember the foundation of your house? What you think is ultimate reality is going to determine what you think a human is. So philosophical ambiguity is a material monist might say a human is merely a material being, and a theist might say, no, a human being is a body and a soul. I actually this morning woke up and found a huge discussion on Facebook about abortion. And I wouldn't engage in a discussion on Facebook about abortion. But B, what I found was that they couldn't get to an agreement on what a human was. And I don't think they were backing up to their assumptions at the most basic level. So there were people with different basic beliefs arguing about an ethical practice without coming to agreement first on what a human being is. So it was philosophically ambiguous. It's wrong to kill a human is what they were saying. And then they were saying, well, is a fetus a human? And I didn't engage because I thought, you know what? This is going to take a lot more work than people put in Facebook. And do they have common ground in this thread? I don't think they do. All right, back to words being ambiguous. Words or terms may be divided in the following ways. Okay, so let's learn this. This is important. It may seem like abstract logic stuff right now, but it will be important as you go through life and you start to hear people arguing about words. So some words are univocal. Some terms or words are univocal. And univocal means they're terms that always have one and the same meaning. And an example of this is isotope. Very technical words are usually univocal. They have one meaning. Okay? There are also equivocal terms. Equivocal terms are terms that may be spelled and pronounced in the same way, but have very different and unrelated meanings. You may have heard the statement equivocating or equivocation. That's where a person is using the same word, but they've changed the meaning of the word. So here are some words that are equivocal. Pitcher. What's a pitcher? Is it the thing that has water in it? Is it the person who throws the ball in the game of baseball? What is a bit? Is it data? Is it something you put in the mouth of horses? What is a ring? Like a ring on your finger, like a telephone ring, like a boxing ring? So here are words that are equivocal. This is where ambiguity could come in, using the same word in different ways. And again, philosophical ambiguity. Someone could use the word God in an equivocal way. God in theism versus God in Hinduism. We mentioned that a few discussions ago. And then analogous. Terms could be analogous, like an analogy. Terms that, when applied to different things, have a similar and related meaning. The long arm of the law. Is there really an arm of the law, or is that an analogy? The head of an organization. The head, like the head of the body of the organization. So analogies. These could be ambiguous, sources of ambiguity. But we use language in these different ways. All right, now let's have a summary of what we've gone over so far. A word or term stands for a concept. A concept is a mental representation of a general meaning which is applicable to things. When we communicate with one another, we communicate the general meaning of things, mentally represented through words or terms. Now that may seem technical, difficult to understand. Another way of saying this is that words represent ideas, and ideas are in the mind. And words are how we communicate ideas from one mind to another mind. They could be written down, they could be spoken, they can be signed, but it's how we're communicating ideas that are in our minds. All right, now I'm gonna pause here, and the next conversation we're going to have is what concepts are not. So we'll talk about what they're not and how we can get confused about concepts, and then we're going to ask the question, do animals have concepts? Now this question, do animals have concepts, is the same as do animals think? This is probably the most hotly debated topic in the logic class that I teach on campus. I don't know why people get so passionate about the animals, but just in case you're wondering, my two dogs have been in every video in the background, so they've heard this entire logic class so far. So maybe we should ask them what they think. All right, we'll be back.